Hello, I'm Ekkehard Fabian from Rosenheim, Germany. This video is titled The Double Pit Technique for Rock-Hard Nuclei by Jacobovitz from Brazil. Rock-hard nuclei still produce major problems in cataract surgery. Much energy needed for emulsifying, problems with the corneal endothelium, heat production, problems with the corneal incision. Machine technology helps the surgeons. Multimodulation of ultrasound delivery, other things too with the machine. Surgeon's technique might help mechanical pre-shopping the nucleus, multiple OVD installations, and other things too. A modified approach is presented in this video from Sergio Jacobovitz, symmetrical, bimanual phaco-fragmentation with a multifunctional chopper. After hydrodissection and a free rotating lens material, two pits are created with a phaco-tip eccentrically. The two choppers are introduced opposite to each other. They are engaged in the two pits and then moved against each other, thus separating two halves of the nucleus. Having the phaco-tip in the one hand and the new chopper then in the other hand, further pieces can be divided. Symmetrically, bimanual phaco-fragmentation per se is not new. Two things are new here: grooving two opposite pits, the three-modal chopper for holding, for cutting, and for dividing. A new technique for hard nuclei, worthwhile to implement it into their own surgical facilities.
There is a very special place, often visited by cataract surgeons, known as Island. It has amazing beauty, vivid colors, and all sorts of cataracts. Island never appears the same way twice for its visitors. It often brings us challenges, and it's filled with potential dangers. One of the most feared creatures living in Island is what I call the meganucleus. Its tremendous size and hardness taxes even the most experienced visitors, as it can produce great devastation. The crystalline lens is composed of fibers derived from the epithelium of the anterior capsule. New lens fibers are laid on throughout life, so the lens increases with age and becomes harder and harder with time. Crystallines with less advanced cataracts have very individual structures, namely the nucleus, the epinucleus, and the cortex. Very advanced cataracts do not have well-defined structures. The nuclei are strongly bonded to the surrounding epinucleus and cortex to form an aggregate, here dubbed meganucleus. In meganuclei, the posterior plate makes it difficult to completely split the core portion, increasing the need for manipulation and the risk of complications. More often than not, multiple breaking attempts are needed to split the meganucleus, revealing an inadequacy of the traditional instrument. As you may observe here, during nucleus fragment removal, the red reflex appears. The posterior capsule lacks the protective cushion of the epinucleus and the cortex. The risk of posterior capsule rupture and vitreous loss increases considerably. In meganuclei, overuse of the phacoemulsifier poses a risk of excessive cumulative dissipated energy and damage to the corneal endothelium. We developed the double pit technique to handle cases of advanced meganuclei cataracts. It's a variation of symmetric bimanual phaco-fragmentation, used for less advanced cataracts. A very unique characteristic of this technique is that cutting is obtained by a single forward movement. Symmetric bimanual phaco-fragmentation consists of positioning a pair of opposite multifunctional choppers within the capsular bag, catching the nucleus equator, and splitting the nucleus. However, for a meganucleus, the catching of the equator can be a very difficult and a risky maneuver. After perforing a 6 mm diameter continuous circular capsular hexes in high dissection, two opposing 1.5 mm deep pits are made near the capsular hex's rim. We set phaco parameters for sculpting in longitudinal mode with low vacuum with high power. The phaco probe has to be held in a more vertical position. Then the nucleus is cut and split, but its halves are still bonded to a hard posterior plate. The cracking area of the multifunction choppers easily breaks these epinuclear bonds. The cutting blade is half the thickness of the traditional choppers. It follows that the sharper the cutting edge, the better the use of mechanical energy. Note that the nucleus stays steady while being cut. More often than not, traditional choppers make the nucleus rotate improperly. Here you can see the jagged edges of nuclear fragments produced by traditional chopper cuts. And here the clean cuts made by the new chopper. Again, the posterior plate hinders proper splitting of fragments. Now, with the multifunctional tool, it can be easily and more safely cut as nuclear fragments are more distant from the posterior capsule. The double pit technique may reduce cumulative dissipated energy and offers a new approach for handling the difficult posterior plate found in rock-hard nuclei. This technique may become a safer option to exile even the most advanced cataracts from our beautiful island.